My beloved child, this is not a coincidence, and this is not a random moment. February 5 had been circled in the spirit long before you opened this message. Archangel Michael reaches out with guidance meant for this exact day, and I am sent to speak clearly before the next step unfolds. What you are about to hear is not rushed, yet it is urgent. It is calm, yet it carries weight. Take a breath, slow your heart, and stay with me, because clarity is about to replace confusion. Hear this carefully. You have been standing at an invisible line. Not a dramatic ending, not a loud beginning, but a quiet threshold. For days, maybe weeks, you have felt something shifting beneath the surface. You couldn't explain it. You tried to ignore it. But today, February 5, that subtle pressure reaches its peak. This is the day heaven says, pause. Look again. Adjust before you move. Archangel Michael is not coming with fear. He is coming with precision. His sword is not raised against you. It is placed before you, pointing the way forward. Here is a decision ahead, and it looks smaller than it really is. That is why this message matters so much. The next step is not dangerous, but it is directional. If taken without clarity, it leads to delay. If taken with awareness, it accelerates everything you've been waiting for. Listen closely now. There is something you have been assuming will work itself out. You told yourself, I'll deal with it later. But later has arrived as quietly as today. February 5 is not asking you to fix everything. It is asking you to see one thing clearly before moving forward. Archangel Michael says this is the difference between struggle and flow. You may feel torn between logic and intuition. One voice sounds practical, reasonable, safe. The other is gentle but persistent, refusing to be silenced. Michael says the softer voice is not weakness, it is guidance. Do not confuse calm with insignificance. What feels subtle today will become obvious tomorrow. Here is also a release happening. Not dramatic, not emotional, but final. Something you have outgrown is loosening its grip. It could be a habit, a role, an expectation placed on you by others, or even an old version of yourself that once kept you safe. Archangel Michael says, do not carry what no longer matches your assignment. February 5 marks the moment where carrying it forward becomes unnecessary weight. You are not late. Let me say that again clearly, you are not late. The timing feels tight because alignment is happening. Heaven often speaks loudest right before movement. That pressure you feel is not panic, it is positioning. There is also protection around you today. Michael stands guard over your thoughts, because confusion has been trying to masquerade as wisdom. Be careful who you listen to in this season. Not everyone who speaks confidently is speaking correctly. February 5 is about discernment, not advice overload. Too many voices blur direction. One clear instruction brings peace. You may notice signs today, repeating numbers, a phrase that stands out, an unexpected pause in your plans. These are not interruptions. They are gentle breaks. Archangel Michael says, I am slowing you down to speed you up. Honor the pause. Do not rush decisions today just to feel productive. There is also encouragement here. You have handled more than you give yourself credit for. The strength you showed in silence did not go unnoticed. The restraint you practiced when you could have reacted is now returning to you as wisdom. February 5 is not exposing your weakness. It is revealing your growth. One more thing you must hear. The next step does not require you to know the entire path. It only requires obedience to the next right move. Michael says clarity comes in layers, not all at once. If everything were revealed now, it would overwhelm you. Trust the design of progressive understanding. Stay open today. Stay observant. Stay grounded. This message found you because you were ready to hear it. Not because you were searching, but because heaven was speaking. And this is only the beginning of what is unfolding. Beloved soul, as you settle into this moment, let your spirit breathe again. The heaviness you carried earlier was not meant to stay. February 5 continues to unfold with intention, and Archangel Michael is still near, not rushing you, not pushing you, but steadying you. This is the phase where understanding deepens. What was hinted at before now begins to take shape in your awareness. There is something important happening internally today. Your perspective is being adjusted. Not flipped upside down, not shattered, just gently realigned. Michael says this is necessary because the next step ahead cannot be taken with an old lens. You have been viewing your situation through past outcomes, past disappointments, and past delays. Today, clarity arrives by removing those filters. Notice how certain thoughts feel heavier than others. Those are not warnings, they are indicators. Your spirit is signaling what no longer belongs. Archangel Michael's presence brings discernment, and discernment always feels like quiet certainty. No panic, no urgency. Just a calm knowing that says this is not for me anymore. You may feel drawn to simplify today. Fewer explanations, fewer commitments, fewer emotional occasions. This is not withdrawal, it is wisdom. Michael says complexity has been draining your focus. February 5 invites you to choose what is essential and release what only looks important. There is also a subtle test happening. It will not look like a test. It may come as a conversation, a message, or an unexpected option. Pay attention to how your body responds before your mind explains it away. Peace is your compass today. If something requires you to shrink, rush, or betray your inner calm, it is not aligned, no matter how attractive it appears. Archangel Michael is also aggressing your confidence. Not surface-level confidence, but rooted assurance. You have been second-guessing decisions you already prayed over. That cycle ends here. February 5 restores trust between you and your own discernment. You are allowed to stand by what you felt led to choose. There is protection over your words today. Speak carefully, but do not silence yourself. Truth spoken with calm carries authority. You do not need to convince anyone. What is meant to move forward with you will recognize your voice without force. This is also a moment of community. If this message is resonating, let that be known. Like this video, share it with someone who may need clarity today, and leave a comment declaring what you are releasing. Your engagement is not small. It creates alignment. Subscribe to this channel so you remain connected to messages that arrive right on time, and help this space grow so more souls can receive what heaven is speaking. And now hear this deeply. The reason clarity feels so close is because resistance is loosening. What once felt stuck was not blocked. It was being prepared. Timing has been working for you, not against you. Archangel Michael says the delay protected you from stepping into something before you were ready to sustain it. You may also sense a quiet excitement beneath the calm. That is confirmation. It is not adrenaline. It is alignment. When something is right, it does not shout. It settles. February 5 is about settling into truth. Do not overanalyze signs today. Receive them. Let them land. Overthinking dilutes guidance. Trust that what needs your attention will rise naturally. Michael is handling what you cannot see. Your role is to remain receptive and grounded. If you feel the urge to tidy your space, clear your inbox, or organize your thoughts. Honor it. Physical order often mirrors spiritual readiness. You are preparing room for what is coming next, even if you cannot name it yet. Remember, clarity does not always arrive as an answer. Sometimes it arrives as peace with not knowing everything. That peace is powerful. It means you are no longer fighting the process. Before this moment passes, take a second to hype this message by engaging with it. When you like, share, comment, and stay connected here, you are not just supporting a channel. You are affirming your own readiness to receive guidance when it arrives. And hold on, because what unfolds next will connect the clarity you're feeling now with a deeper revelation you did not expect. My precious one, now we move into a deeper layer, because what has been stirring around you is no longer subtle. February 5 carries a spiritual echo, and Archangel Michael is drawing your attention inward. This is the moment where clarity turns into recognition. You are beginning to recognize patterns, not just around you, but within you. And this recognition is sacred. There has been a cycle repeating itself in your life. It did not repeat because you failed. It repeated because it was waiting for you to see it clearly. Archangel Michael says the lesson was never about endurance alone. It was about awareness. Today, that awareness sharpens. Something clicks. You realize why certain doors glowed, why certain people faded, why certain plans stalled. It was not punishment. It was redirection. You are standing at a point of inner honesty. No more spiritual pretending. No more explaining away what your soul already knows. February 5 is asking you to stop negotiating with misalignment. What once felt familiar now feels heavy. What once felt exciting now feels draining. This is not boredom. This is evolution. Archangel Michael speaks gently, but firmly here. Do not romanticize what God has already released you from. The reason it no longer fits is because you have grown. Trying to squeeze back into it will only delay what is ready to meet you next. There is also a healing taking place around your trust. You trusted deeply before, and it cost you. That made you cautious. Wise, yes, but also guarded. Today, Michael restores balance. He is not asking you to open yourself recklessly. He is teaching you how to discern without hardening your heart. Strength and softness can coexist. You may feel emotions surfacing that you thought you had already handled. Let them come. Healing is not linear. February 5 is a clearing day. Tears, memories, sudden realizations. None of these are setbacks. They are signs that old residue is finally leaving. Here is something else important. You are being prepared to lead in a way you did not expect. Not necessarily in front of crowds, but through example. Someone is watching how you move through uncertainty. Someone is learning courage by observing your restraint. Archangel Michael says your obedience in quiet moments carries more weight than public victories. Do not underestimate the power of staying aligned when no one is applauding. Heaven notices. That is why guidance is coming now, before the next step unfolds. You might feel tempted to rush forward after this clarity, to act immediately. Resist that urge just a little longer. Michael says the instruction is still settling. Like ink drying on a page, it needs a moment to become permanent. Trust the pause one last time. There is peace available to you today, but it requires agreement. Agreement to let go. Agreement to stop rehearsing old disappointments. Agreement to believe that what is ahead does not require you to bleed the way the past did. February 5 is not dramatic, but it is decisive. Quiet decisions made today will echo loudly in the future. Now receive this as confirmation. If this message is touching something deep in you, it is because you were meant to hear it at this exact time. Archangel Michael does not abandon you in the waiting. He has been refining you within it. Type "I receive clear direction" in the comments if this message aligns with your spirit. Blessing code 4455 is now activated. And hear this sacred invitation flowing naturally from what has just been revealed. This message reached you because someone chose to sow into light before you. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, link in the description, you are placing oil into a lamp that guides wandering hearts. The Lord is saying, what you release into my work, I will release back into your life, pressed down and overflowing. This is not a donation. It is a prophetic response. I feel led to tell you, your obedience and giving opens rivers for others who are desperate for clarity just like you were. Do not delay if your spirit feels the nudge. So now, and may Archangel Michael stand guard over every seed you release, multiplying it with peace, protection, and divine increase. Beloved one, as this message continues to unfold, something within you is already responding. That is because February 5 is still working beneath the surface. Archangel Michael remains present, not as a distant observer, but as an active guide, helping you integrate what has already been revealed. The stage is quieter, yet it is powerful. It is the moment where truth settles into your bones. You may notice that your reactions are changing. Things that once triggered frustration or doubt now feel less charged. This is not numbness. This is maturity. Michael says you are no longer meant to react from old wounds. The clarity you received earlier is now transforming how you move, how you speak, and how you decide. There is a recalibration happening in your expectations. You are learning not to demand signs in loud ways. Instead, you are beginning to trust the gentle confirmations that arrive without drama. A sense of peace after a decision. A calm certainty even when circumstances are unclear. This is guidance at its purest. February 5 also highlights boundaries. Not wall, not isolation, but healthy limits. You are realizing that not everything deserves your energy, and not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Archangel Michael says discernment is not judgment. It is stewardship of your peace. Something important must be said here. You are not responsible for fixing what others refuse to heal. You have tried to carry people forward with you, hoping they would change along the way. But today, there is permission to stop dragging what resists growth. This does not make you unloving. It makes you aligned. There is also a shift in how you view waiting. Waiting no longer feels like punishment. It feels purposeful. You are beginning to see that the pause was shaping your character, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening your faith. Michael says what is coming next requires stability, not speed. You may feel moments of silence today, external or internal. Do not fill them unnecessarily. Silence is where instruction becomes clear. Noise blurs direction. February 5 invites you to listen more than you speak, to observe more than you explain. There is a subtle courage rising within you. Not the loud kind that demands recognition, but the quiet kind that allows you to say no without guilt, and yes without fear. This courage is evidence of growth. You are no longer negotiating your worth. Archangel Michael also brings reassurance about something specific you have been praying about. The answer is not delayed. It is unfolding in stages. If you had received everything at once, it would have overwhelmed you. Step-by-step clarity is protection, not denial. Be mindful of how you end this day. The energy you close with matters. Choose rest over rumination. Choose gratitude over analysis. What you dwell on tonight will shape how you step forward next. There is no rush now. The urgency has passed. What remains is alignment, and alignment always feels calm. As you move through the rest of this moment, know that you are not walking blindly. Guidance is active. Protection is present. The path ahead is steady, even if it is not fully visible yet. Stay open. Stay grounded. What unfolds next will build on everything you have already received, and it will make sense in a way you did not expect. Beloved soul, as we move deeper into this unfolding, you may sense that something has subtly shifted inside you. It is not dramatic, not overwhelming, but it is unmistakable. February 5 has done its work quietly, and Archangel Michael now draws your attention to what comes after clarity: integration. This is where truth becomes lived experience, not just understanding. You're beginning to notice that your inner dialogue is changing. The harsh questioning is softening. The need to justify your feelings is fading. This is not because life has suddenly become easy, but because your spirit is no longer at war with itself. Michael says peace does not come from having all the answers. It comes from trusting the one who guides you step by step. There is a gentle strengthening happening in your resolve. You are less tempted to revisit old conversations in your mind, less inclined to reopen doors that closed for your protection. This is evidence of healing. When a lesson is complete, it no longer demands your emotional energy. You may also feel a heightened sensitivity today. Sounds, words, even atmospheres may affect you more than usual. Do not label this as weakness. Archangel Michael says heightened awareness is part of your refinement. You are learning to read rooms, intentions, and timing with greater accuracy. This sensitivity will serve you well in what lies ahead. There is something important regarding your future plans. You have been holding on to an idea of how things should unfold. Not wrong, but incomplete. February 5 invites flexibility. Guidance may reroute you slightly, not to delay you, but to align you more precisely. Michael says the destination remains, but the path is being optimized. Pay attention to what excites you without anxiety. That quiet excitement is a signal. It does not scream for validation. It simply feels right. That is where your next step will eventually emerge from. You are also being taught restraint. Not everything needs an immediate response. Not every opportunity requires instant commitment. Wisdom knows when to act and when to observe. Archangel Michael stands beside you, reminding you that timing is part of obedience. There is relief here for you. You no longer have to prove your growth to anyone. The changes within you speak for themselves. People may notice or they may not. Either way, your assignment remains unchanged. Stay aligned, not approved. February 5 also brings a reminder about rest. True rest is not avoidance. It is restoration. You have been mentally active for a long time, processing, discerning, adjusting. Now your spirit needs moments of stillness to absorb what has been learned. You not feel guilty for slowing down. Something else is shifting. Your relationship with uncertainty. You are no longer afraid of it. You are beginning to see it as a space where faith operates. Certainty can become limiting if it leaves no room for divine intervention. Michael says trust grows strongest when control loosens. If doubt tries to resurface, observe it without engaging. Doubt often returns when transformation is near completion, hoping to reclaim ground. But you have moved beyond that point. You do not need to argue with it. Simply remain grounded in what you know. This is also a moment of subtle preparation. Conversations you have, ideas you jot down, even rest you take, none of it is wasted. You are being equipped quietly. When the next step becomes visible, you will realize you were being readied all along. Do not rush to define what this season means. Meaning will become clear with time. For now, your role is to stay receptive and steady. Archangel Michael assures you that nothing important will pass you by while you are aligned. As this day continues, carry gentleness with yourself. You have navigated uncertainty with courage, even when you did not feel brave. That courage has reshaped you. What unfolds next will not require you to become someone new. It will require you to be fully present as who you already are. And that is more than enough. Beloved child, take a slow breath here, because this portion of the message is meant to anchor you. February 5 has not only brought clarity and inner adjustment, it has also opened a space where your choices begin to carry new weight. Archangel Michael is very intentional in this moment. He is not revealing something new as much as he is confirming what you already sense deep within. You are stepping into a phase where alignment must be maintained, not just recognized. This is where many people drift. After clarity but before commitment. Michael says this is why his presence feels firm now. Not heavy, not strict, but steady. It is helping you hold your ground. There is an internal strength forming in you that does not need external validation. You are learning to trust your pace, even when others move faster or question your timing. February 5 marks the day you stop measuring progress by comparison. Your journey has its own rhythm, and honoring it protects your peace. You may notice that certain distractions are losing their appeal. Things that once pulled your attention no longer feel satisfying. This is not because they were bad, but because they served a previous version of you. Archangel Michael says it is safe to outgrow what once entertained or comforted you. There is also a call to responsibility, not pressure, but ownership. You are realizing that you play an active role in maintaining the clarity you have received. Guidance opens the door, but discipline keeps it open. This discipline is not rigid. It is rooted in self-respect. Be mindful today of how you speak about your future. Words shape expectation. Speak with calm confidence, not exaggerated optimism and not hidden doubt. Neutral faith is powerful. Michael says consistency in your inner language will stabilize what is unfolding. Something else is being refined, your patience with others. You may find yourself less reactive, less eager to correct or convince. This is wisdom. Not every misunderstanding requires explanation. Silence, when guided, can be more powerful than argument. February 5 also carries an invitation to participate. If this message has been grounding for you, let your presence be felt. Like this video, share it with someone who may be navigating uncertainty, and leave a comment affirming what you are choosing to stand firm in. Subscribe to this channel and stay connected, because these messages are released with intention and timing. When you engage, you are not just supporting content, you are aligning yourself with a flow of guidance that continues beyond this moment. Archangel Michael emphasizes community here. You are not meant to walk this path isolated. Even quiet strength benefits from shared light. Your interaction helps create a space where clarity reaches others who may be silently searching. There is also a gentle warning, not to alarm you, but to protect you. Do not revisit old narratives simply because they are familiar. Familiarity is not confirmation. Growth often feels unfamiliar at first. Trust the steadiness you feel now more than the comfort of what you already know. You may experience moments where you question whether you are doing enough. Release that pressure. Alignment is not about constant action. It is about intentional movement. Michael says rest taken in faith is just as productive as effort made in fear. Notice how your body responds to truth. When something aligns, there is a subtle relaxation, even if the path ahead is unknown. When something is misaligned, tension appears. Learn to listen to these signals. They are part of your guidance system. As this message continues, stay present. What comes next builds directly on this foundation, and it will connect dots you did not realize were related. Hold on. You will want to receive the next insight with the same grounded attention you are carrying now. Beloved one, as this message continues, you may feel a deeper calm settling over you. This is not emotional numbness, and it is not exhaustion. It is stability. February 5 has now moved you into a quieter, steadier place, and Archangel Michael is guiding you to recognize this shift so you do not overlook its importance. Many people miss this stage because it does not announce itself loudly. But this is where real strength is formed. You are beginning to stand differently within yourself. The need to constantly evaluate, recheck, and second guess is loosening its grip. You are not becoming careless. You are becoming anchored. Michael says this is the result of alignment taking root. When something settles in truth, it no longer needs constant reassurance. There is a lesson here about trust. Not blind trust, but informed trust. You have seen enough, experienced enough, and discerned enough to know when something is right. February 5 has sharpened that inner knowing. You are allowed to rely on it now without apology. You may notice that your emotional reactions are slower, more measured. Where you once felt pulled into urgency, you now feel space. That space is intentional. It allows wisdom to enter before response. Archangel Michael says this is a sign that fear is losing its influence over your decisions. Something else is happening quietly. Your sense of identity is stabilizing. You are less defined by what you are overcoming, and more defined by who you are becoming. Struggle is no longer your reference point. Growth is. This shift changes how you interpret challenges. They no longer feel personal. They feel purposeful. February 5 also brings clarity about effort. You are learning that not everything requires maximum energy. Some things move forward with gentle consistency. Overexertion was never the requirement. Presence was. Michael reminds you that force creates resistance, but alignment creates momentum. There may still be unanswered questions, and that is okay. You are no longer demanding immediate clarity for everything. You are trusting that understanding will arrive when it is useful, not just when it is desired. This patience is not passive. It is powerful. You are also being reminded to stay attentive to your environment. Not hyper-aware, but observant. Notice who feels lighter to be around now. Notice what conversations nourish you rather than drain you. These are indicators of where your energy belongs in the season ahead. There is a subtle preparation happening in your daily routines. Small adjustments you make now, how you begin your day, how you end it, how you care for your body and mind, are laying groundwork for something larger. Archangel Michael says greatness is sustained by small, consistent choices, not dramatic gestures. If moments of doubt attempt to return, understand their purpose. Doubt often surfaces when an old pattern realizes it no longer controls you. It makes one last attempt to reassert itself. You do not need to fight it. Simply remain steady. Its power diminishes when it is not fed. February 5 is also teaching you how to hold joy without fear of losing it. You are learning to enjoy peace without waiting for something to go wrong. This is a major shift. Many people sabotage calm because it feels unfamiliar. You are being trained to rest in it. Archangel Michael emphasizes balance here. Stay engaged, but not consumed. Stay hopeful, but grounded. Stay open but discerning. Extremes are no longer necessary. Balance will carry you forward with less strain. As this message draws you closer to what comes next, remain present. The steadiness you feel now is not the end. It is the foundation. What unfolds ahead will require this level of grounding, and you are being equipped for it right now. Hold this calm. Honor it. It is evidence that guidance has done its work, and that you are ready for the next unfolding. My beloved child, now we arrive at a turning point that is gentle, yet deeply prophetic. February 5 is no longer just a date you passed through. It has become a marker within you. Archangel Michael is present again, not to explain, not to warn, but to witness the internal shift that has taken place. You are no longer standing at the edge. You have stepped into alignment, even if the outer world has not fully caught up yet. This is where many people grow restless. They feel the inner change, but they look outside and see little movement. Michael says this is the moment that separates those who trust the process from those who abandon it too early. What has shifted inside you is real, is established. It does not require external confirmation to be valid. You are learning how to carry certainty quietly. This is important. Loud certainty seeks agreement. Quiet certainty holds its ground without explanation. February 5 trained you for this. You no longer feel the need to announce your next move or justify your pace. That restraint is wisdom, not fear. There is also a spiritual maturity settling into you. You are beginning to understand that not every blessing arrives with excitement. Some arrive as stability. Some arrive as emotional neutrality after long turbulence. Some arrive as the absence of anxiety. Archangel Michael says, do not underestimate the gift of peace. It is often the foundation for everything else. You may notice that certain desires have softened. Things you once chased now feel optional. This does not mean you have lost ambition. It means your ambition has been purified. You no longer want what costs you your alignment. You are choosing sustainability over intensity. February 5 also revealed something important about your resilience. You are stronger than you realized, but you are no longer trying to prove it. You have moved past survival mode. This is the beginning of intentional living. Decisions from this place are clearer, calmer, and far more effective. There is a sacred protection around your future steps now. Michael is guarding not just where you are going, but how you get there. Detours that once frustrated you were actually preserving your timing. You can trust that now without resentment. You may feel moments of gratitude rise unexpectedly, not tied to a specific outcome but to a sense of inner rightness. That gratitude is alignment recognizing itself. When the soul settles into its proper place, thankfulness becomes natural. Be mindful not to rush this stage. Integration takes time. Seeds planted deeply do not sprout overnight, but when they do, they are strong. February 5 planted something that will grow steadily, not shakily. You are also being prepared to receive without suspicion. In the past, good things may have felt temporary or unsafe. Archangel Michael is helping you release the instinct to brace for loss. You are allowed to enjoy what arrives without fear of it being taken away. There is clarity now about what matters. Not everything deserves equal attention. Your energy is becoming selective, and that selectivity will protect your peace going forward. Before this moment transitions, receive this activation as confirmation of what has already taken place. Type "I am aligned with my path" in the comments if your spirit recognizes this truth. Blessing code 8891 has just been released. And now, let this message naturally extend into action. What you have received here did not come by accident. Someone chose to sow so this word could reach you. The Lord is saying, as you have received light, now become a carrier of it. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, channel membership, or PayPal, link in the description, you are planting seed into ground that reaches souls across the world. This is not charity. This is partnership with heaven's assignment. I am being led to say this clearly. Your act of giving becomes a shield for your future and a signal of obedience in this moment. Do not hesitate if your heart feels stirred. Release the seed now, and may Archangel Michael stand watch over your provision, your peace, and every step that unfolds from here. Beloved soul, as this message continues, something subtle but important is taking place within you. This is the stage where alignment begins to express itself through calm confidence. February 5 may feel like it has passed on the calendar, but spiritually, its imprint is still active. Archangel Michael is guiding you now to live from what has already shifted, not to keep revisiting it for reassurance. You are entering a season where movement happens naturally. There is less forcing, less explaining, less internal debate. What once required effort now flows with intention. This does not mean challenges disappear, but they no longer define your emotional state. Michael says you are learning how to stay centered even when circumstances fluctuate. There is a noticeable change in how you interpret delays. Where you once saw obstacles, you now see timing. Where you once felt blocked, you now sense protection. This shift in perception is powerful. It means fear no longer controls the narrative of your life. Discernment does. You may find yourself becoming more selective with your time and energy. Not out of arrogance, but out of awareness. You are beginning to understand that access is sacred. Not everyone needs to know your next step. Not every opinion needs your response. Silence, when chosen intentionally, becomes a form of wisdom. Archangel Michael is also strengthening your resolve around consistency. Small, steady actions taken from alignment will now produce more than intense bursts driven by urgency. This is a long-term season. What you are building is meant to last, not impress temporarily. There is something important about your inner voice now. It is clearer, calmer, and less reactive. When you sense hesitation, it is no longer panic, it is discernment checking alignment. When you feel confident, it is not pride, it is peace confirming direction. Learn to trust these signals. They have been refined through experience. February 5 also revealed your capacity to let go without bitterness. That is no small thing. Releasing without resentment means you have truly healed. You are no longer tied emotionally to outcomes that did not materialize. This freedom creates space for what is actually meant for you. You may notice that your faith feels quieter but stronger. You are no longer relying on emotional highs to feel connected. Stability has replaced intensity. Archangel Michael says this kind of faith is resilient. It does not collapse under pressure or disappointment. There is also an invitation to remain present. The temptation now may be to jump too far ahead, to mentally live in what is coming next. While anticipation is natural, grounding yourself in the present will keep your steps precise. Guidance unfolds best when you are attentive to where you are, not just where you hope to be. Pay attention to how you handle small decisions. Alignment shows up there first. Choosing rest over overthinking. Choosing honesty over convenience. Choosing peace over proving a point. These moments shape the larger outcomes ahead. You are also learning to receive support without feeling weak. Independence once protected you, but now interdependence will strengthen you. This does not mean reliance. It means healthy connection. Michael says discern support accelerates growth. There may still be moments when old doubts try to surface, whispering that this calm is temporary. Recognize that voice for what it is, an echo, not a truth. You have moved beyond that season. The ground beneath you is stable now. February 5 was not about a dramatic breakthrough. It was about foundation. What comes next will build on this steadiness. That is why things feel quieter. Foundations are laid in silence. As you continue forward, carry patience with yourself. Integration takes time. Growth does not rush itself. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where alignment has brought you. Archangel Michael remains near, not intervening loudly, but guarding quietly. Trust that what is unfolding is intentional, and that the clarity you now carry will guide you accurately when the next visible step appears. Stay grounded. Stay open. The path ahead is steady, and you are prepared to walk it with confidence and peace. Beloved one, we are now entering a phase where what has been formed within you begins to stabilize into direction. This is not the moment of dramatic action yet, but it is the moment where your footing becomes sure. February 5 may feel like a distant marker now, yet its influence is actively shaping how you move today. Archangel Michael stands beside you, not to instruct every step, but to ensure that each step you take is grounded in truth. You may notice that your confidence feels quieter than before. It does not announce itself. It does not demand recognition. This is the kind of confidence that comes from alignment rather than achievement. Michael says, when confidence is rooted correctly, it no longer needs to prove anything. It simply moves forward with calm certainty. There is something important about your focus right now. You are being guided to narrow it. Not because opportunities are disappearing, but because clarity increases when attention is concentrated. Scattered energy dilutes progress. February 5 began a process of refinement, and now you are seeing its effect. You know what deserves your attention and what does not. You may also feel less reactive to external opinions. Praise does not lift you too high. Criticism does not pull you too low. This emotional steadiness is a sign of maturity. Archangel Michael says emotional regulation is spiritual strength. When emotions no longer control your direction, wisdom leads. There is a practical aspect to this stage. Small decisions made now will have lasting impact. How you manage your time, how you respond to invitations, how you care for your inner life. These choices are shaping what comes next more than any single dramatic move could. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. February 5 also taught you discernment around urgency. Not everything that feels urgent is important. Not everything important feels urgent. You are learning to tell the difference. This protects you from unnecessary stress and keeps your energy reserved for what truly matters. You may feel a pull to simplify further. Simplification is not loss. It is focus. When excess falls away, clarity sharpens. Archangel Michael encourages you to release mental clutter as much as physical clutter. Too many internal conversations can drown out guidance. There is also an invitation here to participate actively in this flow of clarity. If this message hath been steadying for you, let that be reflected outward. Like this video, share it with someone who may be standing at their own moment of discernment, and leave a comment affirming what you are choosing to stay aligned with. Subscribe to this channel so you remain connected to guidance released with purpose and timing. Your engagement helps this space continue reaching those who need calm clarity instead of confusion. Notice how engaging with something meaningful reinforces what you are receiving. Alignment grows when it is affirmed. You are not just a listener. You are part of a larger exchange of intention and awareness. Archangel Michael also offers a reminder here. Progress does not always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels steady, almost ordinary. Do not misinterpret stability as stagnation. Deep change often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible. You may feel moments of impatience arise, wondering when the outer world will catch up to the inner work you have done. This is natural. But Michael says patience now preserves what you have built. Rushing would only introduce unnecessary resistance. There is wisdom in staying present. The future will reveal itself when you need it. For now, your role is to remain attentive, disciplined, and open. Guidance is no longer correcting you, it is confirming you. As this message continues, hold your focus. What unfolds next will connect everything you have sensed so far into a clear picture. Stay with it. This is where understanding deepens in a way that will surprise you. Beloved child, now we enter a space of quiet realization. This is the phase where nothing feels rushed, yet everything feels intentional. The urgency that once surrounded your questions has softened into trust. February 5 did not simply guide you for one day, it recalibrated how you walk forward from this point on. Archangel Michael is still present, but now his guidance feels less like instruction and more like reassurance. You may notice that your thoughts are clearer when you wake and calmer when you rest. This is not accidental. Your inner world is stabilizing. A mental noise that once demanded constant attention is losing its grip. Michael says this is the reward of alignment. When your inner world settles, your outer world begins to respond in time. There is a shift happening in how you perceive progress. You are no longer measuring it by speed or visible milestones. Instead, you recognize progress by how grounded you feel, how peacefully you respond, and how little you feel the need to explain yourself. This is wisdom forming quietly. You are also learning that not everything needs closure in the way you once thought. Some chapters end without explanations, and that is enough. February 5 helped you release the need to understand every detail of the past in order to move forward. Freedom often comes when acceptance replaces analysis. Archangel Michael is strengthening your sense of inner authority. You no longer feel compelled to seek permission to be who you are becoming. Decisions are made with calm confidence rather than hesitation. This does not mean you are inflexible. It means you are anchored. You may feel moments where gratitude surfaces unexpectedly, not tied to a specific outcome, but to a general sense of rightness. This gratitude is significant. It signals that your spirit recognizes alignment even when circumstances are still unfolding. Michael says this kind of gratitude accelerates peace. There is also clarity around effort. You are beginning to understand when to engage and when to step back. Overextension is no longer appealing. You value sustainability over burnout. This awareness will protect you in the season ahead. February 5 also reshaped how you view challenges. They no longer feel like threats to your progress. They feel like checkpoints, moments that ask you to apply what you have learned. You are no longer afraid of being tested because you trust what has been built within you. There may be moments where you look back and realize how much has changed internally, even if the external changes are still emerging. Honor that growth. Inner transformation is often invisible, but it is foundational. Without it, outer success cannot be sustained. Archangel Michael reminds you that timing remains precise. Nothing is late. Nothing is premature. What is meant to meet you will arrive when it can be received without disrupting your peace. Trust this order. You are also becoming more comfortable with uncertainty. Not because you enjoy, but because it no longer threatens your sense of stability. Faith is no longer something you have to summon. It is something you inhabit. This is a significant shift. As this message draws closer to its completion, remain present. There is one final integration coming, a sealing of what has been revealed and a preparation for what lies beyond this moment. Do not rush ahead mentally. Stay here. This calm awareness is exactly where you are meant to be right now. You are ready. And the next unfolding will confirm that in a way that feels unmistakable. My beloved child, we arrive now at a sacred closing, not an ending but a sealing. Everything that has unfolded through this message was not meant to overwhelm you. It was meant to align you. February 5 was the doorway, but what you are standing in now is understanding. Archangel Michael stands quietly beside you, not with urgency, not with warning, but with affirmation. You listened. You received. You adjusted. That matters more than you realize. There is a deep peace available to you now, and it is not fragile. It does not depend on circumstances lining up perfectly. It exists because something within you has settled into truth. You are no longer searching for clarity the way you once were. You are living from it. That is the transformation. You may still face decisions ahead. Paths will still open and close. But notice this. You are no longer afraid of choosing. Fear has lost its authority over your discernment. You understand now that even if a step requires adjustment later, you are guided. Perfection was never required. Willingness was. Archangel Michael wants you to know this clearly. You were never behind. You were being prepared. The pauses were not empty. The silence was not abandonment. It was formation. What you carry now could not have been rushed into existence. It had to be built layer by layer, inset by inset, release by release. You are stepping forward differently now. Less noise, less pressure, more intention, more trust. That does not mean life becomes effortless, but it does mean it becomes honest. You are no longer negotiating with what your spirit knows. You are honoring it. February 5 was about clarity before movement. This moment is about confidence before action. Not loud confidence. Quiet confidence. The kind that does not seek validation because it is rooted. That kind of confidence changes outcomes. There may be moments ahead where others do not understand your calm. Let them wonder. Peace does not need to explain itself. Alignment speaks in consistency, not arguments. Stay steady. Archangel Michael is also sealing protection over what comes next. Not protection from all challenges, but protection from unnecessary detours. You will recognize sooner when something is not aligned. You will recover faster when things feel uncertain. That is growth. Remember this feeling. Not emotionally, but spiritually. This grounded awareness. You turn to it when doubt tries to rise. You are not who you were when the questions first began. You are not searching anymore. You are walking. There is nothing you need to rush into proving. Nothing you need to chase to feel whole. Wholeness has already been restored internally. From here, movement becomes intentional, not desperate. Let gratitude close this moment. Gratitude for what you survived. Gratitude for what you released. Gratitude for what you are becoming. Gratitude anchors alignment. Now receive this final activation with clarity and authority. Type "I walk in divine clarity" in the comments if you receive this sealing. Blessing code 1212 is now activated. And now, hear this final invitation as part of the message itself, not separate from it. What you have just received did not come from effort alone. It flowed because this mission is sustained by obedience. The Lord is speaking plainly. As my word has strengthened you, now strengthen the path for others. When you give through Super Thanks, channel membership, or PayPal in the description, you are sowing into living ground where clarity reaches souls who are still searching. This is not support. It is prophetic participation. I feel led to say this directly. Your seed becomes a signal in the Spirit, and heaven responds to obedience without delay. Act now, not later. Release what is in your hand, and may Archangel Michael stand guard over your household, your provision, and every step you take from this moment forward.